What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Time and Space Podcast, MINISODE version. Again, that's your host, Jordan Hirsch, Francis Donald. I'm Sean Tandy, and we're joined also by our good friend, producer, legend, mentor, teacher, Wayne Trepto, Wheezy F, in the building again. Pleasure to be here on this fine night with you, gentlemen. We're going to talk some lacrosse, as always. We're going to jump right into it, too. We're going to get right into stick picks. So just a couple topics I wanted to hear from you gentlemen tonight. As you can see, I have my stick, as always. Not peeking, just looking. So topic I want to hear from you guys, playing in a high-level game. If you guys just want to talk about a high-level game you've played in or a championship game you might have played in, how it differs from a normal game or how you might have felt at that time.
Interesting. All right. So Jordan and I have a great friend, Jamie Baker, who used to live here in San Diego and worked for Adrenaline. At the time, Adrenaline was running a format called LXM Pro, where they had a traveling professional circuit that was going around to all their big tournaments throughout the summer. So they came through Dallas. I was living in Dallas at the time, so I got an opportunity to play in an LXM Pro game. Names like Ramel and Shamel Bratton, Kyle Harrison, who else was playing? It was just an onslaught of players who, we had watched play. Matt Russell, I think, was in goal. Matt Russell or Mickey Jarbo, one of the two legendary Navy goalies. Anyway, a bunch of pro guys who I think had opted out of playing in the MLL and played for this deal. So I got an opportunity to go play with a couple other Dallas guys that had played at a high level in college. And let me tell you, it was interesting. These guys, when you watch high level lacrosse, big time Division I lacrosse, we all sit there and we think, I could play with those guys. I could do what they're doing. I can, they're not doing it right. But when you step onto the field next to these guys, you're like, holy crap, you're huge. Holy crap, you are incredibly fast. I mean, the level of size and athleticism on the field was crazy, and I'm probably 5-6 years out of college, so not necessarily in the best shape, but my IQ for the game is pretty high because I've been coaching for a while. So what I recognized in that opportunity was how important it is to communicate and play smart, right? Play the right way. And so talking through situations where you may get beat individually, but if you communicate well enough that you will have backup, you will have support, and also playing your angles properly, keeping your stick out in front of you. If you're talking about playing defense, those fundamental aspects of playing lacrosse can elevate your level if you do them at a consistent level or a consistent clip. So that was a huge learning experience for me, a great opportunity to play with a lot of players that I would have never had the opportunity to play with or against. Super grateful for that. Thank you, Jamie Baker.
It's just making me think of something that in high school, kind of very similar. I got invited to play on some sort of like thrown together all-star team that was going to play the U19 or U18 US team in a kind of like a scrimmage. And I think I only got like a couple runs. I was the only high school guy on the team. It was mostly college freshmen and sophomores. And I would just say as well, especially when you're still trying to figure things out. So you're speaking from a point where you had a lot of experience and you're playing at a high level with other high level players and learning through that. I was very inexperienced with high level play. And the speed of the game was so far beyond what I had experienced to that point. And playing in that environment really showed me how much I had to go to get to a higher level. So I remember one opportunity I got a chance to play, and it was so fast that I just went off sides. I just walked right over the line. And it's not like I didn't know what offsides was. I just walked right over that line and went offsides. And it was because I was so taken back by how fast everything was going. And I remember whoever was coaching the team kind of like got on my case. And I remember thinking to myself, I need to just listen to whatever he's yelling at me right now, because it's going to help me at some point. I also got caught playing defense against Peter Lamade, who ended up playing at Virginia and Duke. And that was a very, very short defensive possession. It ended in a goal, and again, in me learning a lesson the hard way. So I guess what I'm getting at is playing in that environment with that kind of pressure against that type of talent can teach you a lot of things if you're willing to fail forward and really take on the responsibility of correcting mistakes with long-term work. It's not a quick fix, that kind of stuff. It takes experience and mileage and kind of a pound the rock mentality. And that's what I took with me to college. That one game really elevated my understanding of what I needed to do.
Yeah, playing at a high level, playing out of your comfort zone in any way, even if you're a kid from a non-traditional area going to play a tournament on the East Coast, going up to Long Island, your ability to function is really your ability to do the small things and not get the ball in your stick and think that you have to score a goal, but how hard do you throw the next pass, right? And just get the ball in your stick and out of your stick, or approach the ball with your stick out in front of you. Remember your steps that you're supposed to take. It's all those little points that can really lead to your success. You don't need to kill it at first. You just have to be out there and survive.
And it's a constant learning experience, I think.
Yeah.
And it's a constant, discussion in that sense as well. All right, gentlemen, let's get into this one more time.
More stuff.
Let's do it. All right, here's a good question. It's a little loaded, right? But we're going to boil it down in a sense. So in your guys' terms, right, we've seen all these non-traditional areas pop up. We've seen a lot of kids, playing at high levels from across the country, right? How does the sport of lacrosse continue to grow? And you can take that however you will, whatever direction you want to go with that. How does the sport of lacrosse continue to grow?
What I have really enjoyed seeing is the game getting into city areas that it normally isn't, with some of the programs that are out there. Definitely for me personally, just seeing like Bronx lacrosse and Harlem lacrosse more locally for me. And one of the guys that we coached on the Israeli team, and a good friend, Danny Leventhal, doing amazing things with Bronx lacrosse. To me, that growth is amazing, just because I can really feel it and see it. And I think, on a grander scale, with some of the international things that Francis and I have been able to see, and how the game has grown internationally is pretty amazing. It's a long haul, though. I will say that. I think the term "grow the game" has really been overused, and I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing. You see it so often, and I think the intent is excellent, but the action is very important. And I think that the people who really are in the grassroots of it do understand that it's a long haul. It's not a quick, we're going to donate some sticks to, this area of the world, and people are going to coach them for a couple months and head out and let them fend for themselves. I think the folks that are doing it right, and most are really feeding those programs resources and knowledge. And that's it's exciting. It's really exciting as a lacrosse person, as a lacrosse enthusiast, to see the game go to new heights and to different places. The beauty of it, to me, especially internationally, is to see how lacrosse can change a young person's life. How maybe they didn't have an activity or something that they connected with, and lacrosse has that power. It really does. It is the medicine game, and it's amazing what it's done for so many young people around the world that have found it. I saw it so much in the Israeli youth development when I was in Israel, and how hungry they are to learn the game. It's really pretty amazing. It's inspirational. It really is.
This is something I wonder. And so I'm not saying this is gospel, but I feel like college lacrosse grows the game. And the representation of college lacrosse grows the game. When I was growing up, there was no college lacrosse for me to go and watch. And so my perspective for the game was so limited. It was limited to watching other high school players who probably, maybe some of them were as good as me or a little bit better, but, we all are playing a pretty watered down brand of the game. Anytime I've gone to the East Coast, with a team, we try to seek out opportunities to watch lacrosse. When I was living in Dallas before San Diego, there were people instrumental in bringing college lacrosse to Dallas so that kids could watch these high-level games and, aspire and visualize themselves playing for these teams. I live in San Diego right now. There's plenty of youth lacrosse. I mean, it can grow. It can grow at the high school level too, but there's nowhere to go and watch lacrosse here in San Diego at a high level. There's been somebody bringing some good lacrosse one game a year to Orange County. I went there and saw, Maryland and UNC play one year, and they brought Yale and Michigan out as well. But there's 4 different colleges here, and none of them are playing, Division I or Division III or anything like that. And so, for a high school kid that aspires to be something, they have to watch it on TV. They can't just go down the road and see it or get to know those players. So, I would love for San Diego State University to get a Division I team. I know it's hard. It's, easier said than done. I would love for University of San Diego to get a team and really solidify the representation of that sport here in San Diego, so that kids on Saturdays are like, I want to go to the USD game, or I want to go to the SDSU game. And I think especially on the West Coast, where it's so hot at the youth level and so hot at the high school level, we need some colleges to pick it up. And they're only big time schools out here, save, Chapman, who's playing club, Whittier. And those club guys are playing hard and they're doing their thing, but there's not the same reverence and respect for that level of lacrosse that there is for the NCAA level. So I don't think that it gets the same, it gets put on the same pedestal. So, would love to see, Kark and Quint and Anish out here calling, SDSU versus Stanford, and having that be like a big game. And I think until something like that happens, I think things are always going to be a little dormant.
Let me ask you this. There's so many things that, and it's got to be quick, obviously, but there's so many things that might prohibit that from happening. Do you think it'll ever happen? My gut says no.
After all of the programs that have been cut due to COVID right now, I think it's harder. But maybe on the comeback, lacrosse is top of mind. Who knows? It's tough to say, but we can only hope that these kids eventually have something to look up to that will push them to aspire to play at a higher level.
And again, I think it's a constant conversation, right? Like every time, someone brings it up, like Jordan said, it may be a little bit overused, the phrase grow the game. But again, it's just a constant check-in, right? A constant analysis. And it changes periodically over the years who's added teams, where the sport is growing, at the youth level, and like how, the sport has been progressing at certain levels across the country. So again, a topic we'll talk about again, I'm sure. So just good to hear your thoughts on it, both of you guys.
Yeah. Do it.
All right, welcome back. Let's get a little shot clock going here, fellas. Game time. Time to have a little fun. So let's get into it. Jordan, you're going to go first, sir. So again, this is how it's going to work. 60 seconds on the clock. You got to explain to Francis what you have in front of you. There's 5 phrases. You have to do so without using that word when you're describing it, and no hand motions, sir. 60 seconds on the clock, Jordy. Ready? Go.
When it's silent in a room, they say you could hear this drop.
Pen.
This is a delicious snack that has peanut butter in it and chocolate.
Reese's?
Yes.
Chocolate, peanut butter, ice cream.
Reese's.
Peanut butter cup.
Yes.
Reese's Pieces.
If you are a business official, you may carry this in your wallet.
NRA card?
No, it is a card, though. You just said card.
Business card.
Yeah, that's the one. This was the coach at Hopkins. He was the coach at Hopkins.
Tony Seaman.
No.
Dave Petromano.
Yeah, that was it.
Speaking of dick.
This is a bird that we ran out of time.
Oh.
But I want to try this one, though. I wanted to say this. Someone might say, nah, I don't even know how to say it. Like when you eat crow, the answer was crow. Like, I don't even really know what that expression means.
It's
I mean,
weird.
like you eat your words.
Eating crow, yeah.
Right, but
You
I don't
eat
know
your
why
words.
or how that was derived. Very odd. Also, Petro, very good player in his time as well.
Amazing player. I was going to say
Amazing player.
played high school lacrosse with Gunnar Schindler's father.
True.
Remember they said that. He said that.
Big facts.
Our boy Gunnar.
Shout out Gunnar. Good guy.
John Hawes, Bobby Benson.
Francis. You know what this
saying-
means.
I'm just saying.
You're saying
people
Hopkins
coach
coaches. Yeah.
John Gray.
Reese's Pieces are garbage as well, by the way. Just want to get that on record. Gotta
Also,
be peanut butter cup.
Pieces is not a word, so there's that.
There you go. Add it to the record. Francis, 60 seconds on the clock. You're up. Ready? Go.
Mr. 305.
Pipple. Also Mr. Worldwide.
The
He's Mr.
glass
Worldwide.
piece on the front of an apparatus that you use to take pictures.
Lens.
Yes. But what
Camera
type of
lens.
Yes. This young man was a goalie at Albany who we know from Naz Camp, Nazareth Lacrosse Camp.
Blaze and our buddy Blaze. Good job.
Yes. Hotel, this place, Holiday Inn.
A motel.
Yes. Say what? This Japanese brand, electronics brand, is very popular, but spelled wrong in English.
Yoshiba.
No. Yoshiba.
Wait, what do you say? What do you
I
say?
didn't
It's
say
spelled wrong.
how do you say what's up to Shiba?
Oh my God.
Wait, what do you mean
Francis, you have a
spelled wrong in
mouthful there.
English? What do you mean spelled wrong in English? What is it?
Sony.
I wouldn't have known that was spelled wrong in English.
Well,
Can
It's a
you?
good brand.
So
That's from
just-
Wayne.
it's a Japanese electronic brand.
Okay,
They make PlayStation.
There's a lot of
Oh, PlayStation would have been a good way to go, I think.
Japanese
Not a
electronics
gamer.
brand.
Not a game.
Just some background though. Francis is very well versed in Japanese. So he was taking advantage of my knowledge of Japanese, which is not great outside of what I've learned from him. I had no idea that Sony was spelled wrong in English.
Yeah, in Japanese, you can't end a word in Y. It doesn't exist.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. You learn
Y is
something new
only a
every day.
consonant. It's
Right,
only a
and-
consonant in Japanese.
And now next time I will know the answer to that.
Is Y technically a vowel, though?
It can
Sometimes.
be. And sometimes why?
I don't know. We're going to have to defer to Pat Sajak. We'll get him on the pod to discuss. The Wheel of Fortune
Let's
guy.
get Vanna White on the pod.
I'm down for that too. She's a legend. Francis, you're up. 60 seconds. Go.
Number 22, Syracuse Lacrosse, Air.
Gate. Gary Gate.
Which, yes. You use this to cut the ends of your strings when you're stringing a stick.
Scissors?
Yes. Kevin Hart. Hello.
Miss Green.
Nope. Try again.
Hello.
These guys swim around underneath you when you're surfing in San Diego.
Fish. Sharks.
Yes. Hubbard, this guy, and Massey.
Hess. John Hess.
Yes. Another name for a pancake.
Flapjack.
Yep.
Wow, that was impressive.
Wait, did I get the Miss Green one right?
No,
No,
shark,
it was
right?
Short. It was sharks.
So I am so upset with myself that I didn't get it that way. I wish that I had gotten it that way.
We all really like Kevin Hart here.
Yeah, we do.
Inside Kevin Hart joke.
It's great.
Hello, Shorks.
For Kevin Hart inside joke.
It's great. It's great.
Good times
Start a fan
on the
club.
pod. Good times on the pod.
Oh man, can't wait to get Vanna White on and talk to her about that. Add it to the list. All right, Jordy, 60 seconds on the clock. You are
Another
up.
round.
You can cook pizza in this type of oven.
Brick oven.
If you don't throw something in the garbage, you might do this with it for the environment.
Recycle.
This is one of the best lacrosse and football players of all time. He went to Syracuse.
James Brown.
Yes. The athlete, not the singer. He was the coach at Cornell for a while. Then I
Dave
believe
Petramala.
No, before
Jeff
that.
Tamburoni.
Before that.
Oh, before that. Richie Meade.
It's the other Richie.
The other Richie. Next question.
Not MMA. It's the other thing where you punch people in the face.
UFC.
No. With bigger gloves. Yeah, that's the one.
Who is the coach from Cornell? Why didn't I not get that right?
That was good.
Richie Moran was
Richie
the coach at
Moran.
Cornell.
That's right. Not Richie Meade.
That was close. Richie Meade, also a great coach, though. Navy
I don't
guy.
think Richie
Not
Meade was
so
the
much
Navy guy. Yeah.
Not so much at Cornell.
Richie Meade was not a great coach at Cornell because he did not coach at Cornell.
Well, if you look at it that way.
Actually, it's pronounced Colonel.
Ever heard of it?
Too funny. All right, fellas. Another good round. Another good mini-sode as well. We should pat ourselves on the back for that one. Can't wait to get Pat Sajak and Vanna White on the pod. Again, we got to brainstorm on more people to get on. Again, for everybody out there, be sure to find us on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Guys, another great episode. So again, thanks for coming on, chatting on the Time and Space podcast.
Sony.